There's never been a better time to have Sirius XM. With over 140 channels in your vehicle, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with Sirius XM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another lunchtime learning session on this Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. You're tuned in to CMA Connected, presented by Sirius XM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Learning is what we're going to do this week. We've got 3 great connecteds lined up this week, and this one on this Monday here is going to be an educational one, because every time I have this guest on, I, for one, can speak on behalf of myself. I always learn something, and especially when it comes to the topic of sound damping. Whether it's sound damping, that's what I think is the right term, sound deadening. There's also elements of sound proofing. STP, or Standartplast, is a global leader in this department. Based out of Russia, we've learned a lot about the different technologies that they have and the real deep selection of products that they offer depending on what you want to achieve. Now, installers are offered this selection because it's all about having the right tools in the toolbox. Recently, they have announced a partnership with one of the important distributors here in Canada, which is Sobel Imports. And today we're going to have them both on to learn a little bit more about the offering that STP, or Standartplast, has, the relationship with Sobel, and maybe some tricks of the trade. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and invite our first guest representing Sobel Imports. He's been with us before on many occasions, and we're going to bring him back today. His name is Gaetan Rowe from Sobel Imports. Bonjour, Monsieur Gaetan. How are you, sir?
Very good, very good. I'm very happy to be here and join the team of CMA. And we're so happy to have that company, Standartplast. They have like a very good brand of product. It's amazing, amazing.
You know what? When I first heard the news, I was like, oh, that really makes sense. Because, you know, we're looking at Sobel. You guys have really developed a great portfolio of the different brands that you sell. And, you know, in this category, it might have been something that was missing for some of your customers. So when I heard about this partnership, I said, that makes a lot of sense. Now, and I'm sure your customers, when they heard the announcement, they were pretty happy to hear that.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, like we're going in different type of industry also with the product. So it's not only for cars. We already have some RVs company with us. So we can go further with that brand. No?
Yeah, because I know with Sobel, you guys have products for marine, for example, for RVs, for example. And of course, everything mobile. And I think our specialist that's going to be coming on today with us is going to be able to support, you know, why the product range of Standartplast is so you know, flexible depending on where you want to put it and what the needs of the customer are.
Exactly.
So just before we get him on, let me just clear. So you guys announced a partnership. Now, is everything in stock, ready to ship? This is already inventoried and ready to go?
Everything is in inventory. We even have like a small brochure well done by Standartplast. It is giving you an idea and something to show to the customer what's the different and what is good to use in the door, in the roof. So
all the different applications.
They have nice display. Not display. It's just like a nice brochure that we're carrying and we're leaving to our customer to show to their consumer.
Perfect. And so this is how long has that been now? 3 months that you guys been partnered?
Yeah, around roughly 3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
Okay. And how's it been going? What's the feedback from customers so far?
Feedback is very good till now. I've seen some guys who have installed that on the floor to eliminate a little bit vibration. Some of them have used it for really sounds. Depends what you need, you know. But the product, even I could say that I know guys have used it for small excavator, digging
in construction.
But like Kubota, stuff like that. So I was, you use that for that? He said,
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, really, anytime that you want to quiet or control the sound in an environment, right? This type of stuff comes through. And one thing that I've been really impressed with, we're on a CMA Connected now. I think we're in our 70th episode or something crazy like that. STP was actually our first guest in our very first episode when we launched Connected. And every time he's been back, I've always learned something, because these guys are very passionate about what they do. And they offer a wide, and I repeat, I'm sure we're going to learn about this, but a wide range of product. And from a shop perspective, what we're trying to do here, CMA, is to give you the education to understand why there is such a different offering in their catalog, and why, because there's some brands that only have 1 or 2 items and in sound deadening. Why does STP have to have, I don't know how many they have. They have a lot, so many different products. And I'm sure that's very important for Sobel too, when they took on the brand, to say, we're not just taking on 1 SKU or 2 SKUs. No. You're taking on a lot of SKUs, and these are all things. So are you committed to having the entire line available?
We have almost the entire line.
Okay.
Presently in inventory.
Okay, that's good. So now we've established the line, the foundation. One thing I want to mention, Daniel Perron sent me a message. He's got a crazy offer. So if you guys are tuning in now, you want to stay to the very end. Sobel is offering a really, really incentivized offer for you guys to get in on some Standartplast product on your opening order. So you want to stay until the end, and get how you have the details to share at the end, right?
Exactly. Yes.
All right, perfect. So we got all the business out of the way. Let's go ahead and invite our guest on, welcoming him back to CMA Connected. This handsome young man represents STP Canada. He's kind of like the brand ambassador for STP in Canada, and his name is Ilya Rizkov.
Hi,
Mr. Ilya.
Thanks for having me here.
Welcome back, sir.
Yep.
I hope you enjoyed that little introduction that we did and set up the kind of the tone and the relationship. So now that you have you on, tell us how important was this relationship to establish for your distribution in Canada?
It was really, really important to us, to be honest, because we don't have a lot of presence on the east coast of Canada there. So Sobel is really, really helping us out with establishing presence there and gaining some market share there as well, not to mention that Ontario is also covered by them as well. So we're looking forward for getting those sweet, percentages.
It's all about that. And I'm sure if you're in Ontario, get down. Forgive me, forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you're an Ontario dealer and you're interested in contacting Sobel, Chris is your guy.
We have 2 guys in.
Oh, you have 2 guys in Ontario. I'm sorry.
Denny also is covering a part of Ontario, and Chris covering the rest. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So you're covered there, you Ontario dealers. Maybe I'll throw it over to you, Gitan. How do you want to start? Do you have a question for Ilya to kind of get started?
I would like to know how long the company have started producing the product for the damping for sound deadening.
Yeah, so our company was established in 1996. So we've been on the market for over 20 years already. And it started as a small company back in Russia, and now just expanded to this global leader in sound deadening and soundproofing materials. As I already told so many times, we sell across the globe in 80 different countries on different markets: Asia, Americas, Europe, everywhere essentially right now. So yeah, we've been around for quite some time, and what I'm really proud of is that this is the only product that we've been working on developing and creating. We have our own laboratories for testing back in Russia. So any new product that we create, they go through extensive testing. They all being certified under ISO 1499000 for car standards, essentially. We've been working with a bunch of assembly lines in Russia. Almost all the assembly lines actually in Russia use our products because we can do custom orders for them, right? For certain cars, like pre-cut materials, for example, or hot molded. So yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless, essentially, and I'm quite excited for the future. And I'm going to tease a little bit. We have a couple new products coming soon. So Ben, maybe on our next podcast with you.
Oh, not this one.
No, not this one.
Not
Okay.
yet.
I'll cross that off then because I just wrote down new.
No, I'm just teasing you guys a little bit that
Yeah.
we're
Good.
working
Yeah.
on a new product right now, and it's there.
Okay.
It's even good for me to be on board with you guys because I'm learning too. Like it's very important to find out about the good product. Yeah.
Make no mistake, Gaetan, if I'm not mistaken, Ilya, you can correct me. We have a presentation that we're going to go through the product lineup. Right, on this episode.
Quick presentation just to help our viewers to understand our product lineup and what are the difference between material. Because I know not sometimes, but most of the times when people go on our website, they're getting overwhelmed with the
there's a lot
different range of materials. But then when you start understanding it, it becomes all clear and easy. So
we also have some videos to show the actual applications.
Yeah, some applications on door, and
okay,
go over it quickly.
I got some quick questions for you based on just for the brand. I think there's key messages here that I want our listeners to know about. Number one, the product is made in-house and engineered in-house. This is not something that you purchase overseas and then you branded, right?
No. It's entirely our production, our development, everything, and we just import it here to Canada from Russia directly.
Now, is that just a butyl-based product? Or are you talking all the foam products? Because we'll get into that. Everything.
Yeah, all the materials are produced in-house in Russia.
Made in Russia, in-house, R&D, everything in-house.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yeah, and I say that, and this is not a negative point towards anybody else, but I think this is a feature of the brand that people need to know. You know what I mean? This is, and to your point, Ilya, this is all you do.
Exactly.
You don't make, this is what you focus on. This is your lane. Soundproofing, sound deadening. This is it. Nothing else.
And not to mention that car soundproofing is only a small piece of the whole industry, right? As Gaetan mentioned, it's RVs, it's industrial. We even have soundproofing for houses, for example, and this is our next goal here in Canada as well, to bring that commercial building soundproofing into your houses, into your offices. I think one sweet market for us in that direction would be just your common household floor soundproofing, because a lot of people rent the downstairs, right? And you don't want to hear what you rent or what people do there. And by adding our product, we have different products that even can go before you pour the concrete in. So you have a first layer of us, then you pour concrete, and then you put another layers. But again, that's completely
listen, this is me speaking on my personal opinion, just based on all the training that I've had, all the discussions I've had. I feel there's only two really, really big, I don't want to say big, but brands in the world that really specialize in this at a certain level. I think STP is one of them. So let's continue learning, because there's a lot to go about. I would suggest maybe we jump into the presentation so we can get right in. All right, here we go.
All right. So all our products are broken down into 3 main lines, and then there is a special line for all the other products. So essentially, it's based on your price entry point. Silver line is our cheapest one and the most affordable one, I should say. Gold one, we call it gold again because it's a golden ratio of performance to money spent on products. And then you have a diamond line, which is a top line, top class, all the best materials there. I don't know, call it Mercedes S-Class level soundproofing. I'm going to quickly go over of all of our sound deadening material first. Then I'll jump into soundproofing and sound absorption materials. And then after that, we'll finish with a special line. So as you can see here on the right of the slide, you have a little white Range Rover that highlights all the areas where material can be installed and where we recommend installing it. So our first and the most affordable material is called black silver. It is a 1.8 millimeters or 70 mil product. which is again, as I said, for those DIY projects or where you need or where your budget is a little bit tight, but you still want to get the best product. And you will see a lot of those mechanical loss factor graphs on my slides. We've already briefly covered how to read them, but I'm going to explain it quickly one more time. So you have mechanical loss factor on the left axis, and then you have temperature range down below. So mechanical loss factor essentially is how much of vibrations or sound is being absorbed in percentages, essentially. So it scales from 0 to 1. And then down below, you have your regular temperature scale. And what this shows is that material performs different on different temperature levels, right? So as you can see, highest performance is around 20 degrees, and mechanical loss factor is close to 30% there. But again, as the temperature drops, your performance is going to drop as well. So we have different packs for this. For all the deadening materials, we have speaker kits, shop kits, bulk, and door packs. But for now, Sobel only carries the bulk pack, the big one. So it has 4.5 square meters, 12 sheets in there, and their sizes are 75 by 50 centimeters.
Is that Gaetan, is that because, I mean, you're servicing shops, and shops want the volume size, right? They want the econo pack. They don't want the individual pack.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I'll show you. This is the black.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that's how the pack looks.
Heavy box.
you have sheets there. They fold it in half.
Yeah.
So when you open it up, you just grab. And sheets are trying to convert it quickly here. Sorry for it's 30 by 20 inch. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. And they cover 48 square feet, which is also important to note because the majority, what we noticed on the market, are 36 square feet versus our packages comes almost at 50 square feet in one package.
This is the price conscious product. So
Yeah.
in your opinion, does this come in above, on par, or under the similar product on the market, price-wise?
Price-wise, it comes at par with the market, with those brands that you can see on Amazon, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And quality-wise, I would say it's at par or better. I mean, my personal opinion is better, to be honest.
Sure.
But it's at par with all those
So
brands.
you can get into STP product without saying that you're going to spend a lot more than what you would spend that's out there right now. That's the message I'm trying to get to. Okay.
The only thing again that people sometimes misunderstand, that because the package is bigger, your sticker price will be a little bit higher. But if you calculate your price back to per square meter or per square feet, it's at par or even cheaper than what's available on the market right now.
Okay.
So our next and the best selling material so far across all the markets, that's your standard, your most beloved product.
Globally, this is the one that pops up the most.
Yeah. So this is black gold. Again, same butyl based material. And the thickness is 2.3 millimeters or 90 mil right now. Again, comparable to what's there on the market, but price-wise, it's a little bit cheaper.
So it's aggressively priced at this level.
It's cheaper than what's on the market for the same thickness.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as you can see here on the graph, the performance is way better than compared to
I'm gonna stop you for a second, Ilya. So the two things. First, if for our viewers who are watching, I know we've got some shops watching, share with us which one you like or which one you recommend after having used it. We'd love to hear your comments. Number two, how can you get the price more aggressive than the competitors? I'd like to hear what your reasoning behind this?
I think the biggest reason for this is cheap labor in Russia, plus the situation with Canadian and U.S. dollar compared to Russian ruble is a little bit on our end, like it benefiting Canadian market right now. So that would be the biggest reason, I think. Plus, everything is done internally, right? And we don't have any extra
Yeah,
cost.
you're not shipping to ship somewhere else. That's first and foremost.
We ship directly from the warehouse in Russia to our warehouse here, which is
straight to Canada.
Yeah, which is located in Niagara Falls, Ontario, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then Sobel also have their warehouse. Where do you have it actually, Giton? I don't remember.
In Terrebonne. Yeah, the warehouse is placed in Terrebonne.
So you can say Terrebonne, Gaetan. For the rest of Canada, that's Montreal. Yeah. I asked the question. There you go. Tons of gold. Sudbury Car Audio says. All right. So your presumption was right, Ilya. So far.
It is. Yeah, and sales numbers show that, right? So that's your go-to product when you want to compare your average market, other average market products there. And then we're jumping to Aero here, which is our best performing material for the price. Plus, it's 30% lighter than gold. So not only it's performing better, but for the same coverage area, you have 30% less weight for our top secret composition of butyl and bitumen materials in there. And as you can see from the graph below, it also extends the range, the performance of the material over the temperature range.
So that's a little bit more Canadian climate.
It is.
Russian climate, Canadian climate is almost the same thing. Which is another point I wanted to bring up. Russian climate is very, very similar to Canadian climate. So there's some advantages there as far as engineering and testing.
Exactly, and you'd be surprised how close it is actually from where I come from. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I'm calling, like my family there, it can even come down to raining on the same days.
Wow,
it's just I was surprised. But anyway. Aero, back to this. As you can see from the graph, it performs better at 10 degrees Celsius instead of 20, and the volume of that graph compared to this, like at 10 degrees, gold drops to 20 mechanical loss factor, and then down to almost 10 at -10 temperatures. But then compare it here. Look at 0, it still performs at like 16, 17.
So better performance, same thickness, but 30% lighter.
Yeah.
And a little bit more expensive. Because you got to pay for the weight savings.
Yes.
Like anything else. Okay.
But again, there are some similar products on the market, and we price super competitive to the market as well. So it's not something that out of the market completely in terms of price. It's way within the market and performance wise. Again, I haven't seen those graphs from any other manufacturers yet.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen them either. I've been through a lot of trainings, as you know.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting information.
Yeah. So once they start putting them out, maybe we can start comparing them. But until people, manufacturers they like to show the peak performance, peak mechanical loss factor, and even that I haven't seen much, to be honest. But then it's not a one-dimensional scale. You have to show it on the temperature range to understand how it will perform. Not to mention that all our materials are performing at -45 to 100 degrees Celsius. Nothing's going to happen with them.
And that's mostly referring to the adhesive performance.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, to the adhesive. And one thing that we keep hearing a lot is that our adhesive is not that strong when you touch it with your hand, And the reason for that is that we go for the long bonding with the metal. So when you apply our material, you need to roll it, and then it develops the full adhesiveness over 24 hours. Like
it's made to be low tack, so you can manipulate it while installing.
Exactly. And then not only that, but when you put like cheap glue or when you put like super sticky glue, it really dries up really fast over time and over temperature, versus our formula is to bond with metal for a longer period of time, so your peak adhesiveness will be achieved only after 24 hours. It doesn't mean that you can drive the car or do something else with it, but after 24 hours you won't be able to rip it nicely.
Yeah,
that's permanent.
Yeah.
It's permanent.
And then our crazy 4.2 millimeter
4.2
bomb aero. That's what 160 mil, I think. Converted to mils. Yeah, 165 to be exact. Sorry. So price wise, it's about the same for the package as the price for for regular aero, but the package is twice smaller. So again, it's just because we couldn't fit more sheets into the package, and they're not folded in half. The sheets are a little bit smaller, but as you can see from that graph, it achieves almost 55% of all the vibrations and noises coming into the car. It's super heavy. It's mostly being used on floors, as you can see there. Again, floors, because the most of the noise are coming from your floors, from your arches, right? So that's where you need the most mechanical loss factor and the most performance, right? So it's being heavily used with and loved within the like car audio competition people, because they put 2-3 layers of this, and it just makes everything way harder and sturdier. Even 1 layer on the roof, which we don't really advise, but one of our clients did that and sent us a video. It makes a huge difference.
No, I can imagine for sure.
Or 4.2 mil, and I don't think there is anything like that on the market yet, or at least I haven't seen it. But even in your day-to-day installations, we advise to use some of bomb aero on wheel arches, for example. You can mix and match products, right? So for your flooring, you can use gold or aero, but for arches, you would go with a layer of bomb, just to make everything. Oh, Ben just texted me that he lost power, but we'll still continue on.
Yeah.
He's going to be back in a couple of minutes. Sorry for the inconvenience and technical difficulties there. Yeah, but the bomb is just out of this world. That's all I can say.
Amazing, eh?
It is, and this is actually the only material that you need to use your heat gun, because it's so sturdy. You need to heat it up a little bit. We're not discouraging using heat gun for all the other materials. If you want, you can absolutely do that. There's nothing going to happen with material, but this one you have to. You can't just put it onto the metal and roll it. You just won't be able to.
Yeah.
And now to our soft materials quickly. So we have Accent. It's a waterproof foam-based material. It's not exactly waterproof. It's water resistant. Like we advise to put it into your inner skin layer, inner door skin as a second layer. So overall theory, how to work with our products. You use sound deadening material as a first layer. Then you apply sound deadening and sound absorption materials as a second layer. And then there's also a little third layer, but it's only being used on floors. So this is your second layer. This is the, again, option from our gold line. It comes with 6 and 10 millimeters thickness, depend what are you working with. It's essentially it's sound and heat barrier in your doors. Mostly it's being used indoors. It's not as pliable as other material I'm going to show right now. So again, depends where you work. You should select proper materials and always mix and match for the best performance. So this is Aeroflex. That's essentially closed cell foam material. It's completely waterproof. You can put it anywhere. As a second layer, we have 6 millimeters, 10 millimeters. Again, if you can, I would work with 10 on floors, on doors if space allows. But if not, use 6. It also performs really great on those surfaces. And then one drawback of this material, it's not as great of a soundproofing material as a heat-proofing material. So if you want to achieve the best and the most sound insulation within your car, you should use Biplast. That's the material that performs the best for reducing the noises coming inside the car. And you apply it on the inner layer of your plastic panels. So, for example, when you take off your plastic door panel, you fully cover it with. Sorry.
Time out.
Hey Ben, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. You were saying just before that you go layer by layer. Now you're saying that this particular product doesn't actually make contact with your base layer. This is on the plastic side, not the metal door side. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. And this is the foam open cell material, and that's why it performs so great at reducing noises, because it just disperses the sound wave within the material, and it just like those cells in that material, they all different size, and the material I like to call it, it's like a memory foam. You can compress it almost to like nothing, and then when you close your panel back, it fills in all the gaps, and then it also helps you to remove all the squeaks, all the rattle noises from panels. Sorry. You can even use it on your dash, for example. If you're completely removing dash, you can just apply that material internally and put it back in, and it will sit nicely, because material, won't hurt. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Sorry. It comes in all different sizes. We have 5 mil, 10, 15, 20, 25. We also have Biplast Wave, which has that concave, areas like you see in
a sound studio.
Yeah, and then we have Wave Diamond, which is the same as Wave, but it performs better on lower frequency ranges. So as you can see from the graph.
So, sorry, I'm cutting you off a lot, Ilya, because every time you say something, there's another question that comes up. You just said that you have one that's ondulated.
Yeah.
Right. And it's more tuned, let's call it tuned, for lower frequencies. Is that a material that you can put into subwoofer enclosures?
Some of our dealers do, yeah. I wouldn't see why not.
Interesting. We had a comment before from Keith McCumber from Sounds Good out in Vancouver. Well, it depends where he is, but in the West Coast in BC, because he's got 2 shops. And he said that was a great idea with the separation. So this is new information that you're sharing right here. I have never seen that. So. And
we're going to show in a video on the installation on doors as well. You're going to see the material. But again, take a look at this graph here. It absorbs almost all the noises with frequency from call it 3,500 to like 48-ish. And then again, if you really want to dive into world of soundproofing, we have graphs for all of them essentially. And then
is it better performance as you get thicker? Is that what it is?
It is, and you know what, we don't even I don't think we have 20 and 25 in stock right now in Canada.
Okay.
We have 5, 10, and 15.
You need a lot of space though for a 25.
Exactly. and what we do, we do not recommend putting biplast more than 15 or even 15 mil on your roof, because it can create the effect of, that when you drive, it's going to be a little bit.
Whoa. That is what you're talking about?
Because it absorbs so much noise and it's close to your ear. You're gonna probably feel a little bit uncomfortable. So we do not recommend using
to that point.
Means
to that point where you would feel uncomfortable orally with your ears.
Yeah, like especially for a long drive, like we don't really recommend, and especially 20 and 25. It just creates that little. I don't know. It's not like, I don't know if you've ever been in
being in a recording studio.
Exactly. Like it's not a fully, like silent room. One of those where you cannot hear anything and you can go crazy probably just hearing your heartbeat. But it's like in a sound studio. You're right, where it's a little bit uncomfy. So yeah, that's the material essentially, and again, you can use it, as I said, on plastic panels. We even advise to put it onto your front and back arches, for example. You can also use it there.
And this has a self-adhesive already on it.
Yeah. All our materials have a self-adhesive on back, and it's pretty pliable as well. Like if you push too hard, you'll be able to rip it, obviously, but it's not like it's going to rip right away, And one way I like to show, I don't have the material on me here, but you can just grab your phone and then you can just cover, turn on some music, and you just cover your phone and your speaker with biplast, and you can hear how it works. And there are a lot of videos on the internet as well with.
What's what Gaetan's showing here? Hold on, let me see. Oh, that's what it is right there.
Yeah. That's a biplast. That's a 15.
At first I thought it was like acoustic foam for studio, because I do have a lot of that. But that looks way more dense than the acoustic foam that I'm used to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now jumping to our last but not least material. This is something we've trying to push on the market as well. It's a really interesting product. I don't think, again, there's anything on the market. So this comes as a third layer, and on your floors only. Material is quite heavy, so if you put it on doors or any other vertical surfaces, it's probably going to peel under its weight. And it has to be installed as a third layer on top of accent or Aeroflex, because it needs that like cushion between the first layer and itself. So this will remove all the rest, what's left, coming from floors essentially. So if you want to achieve the absolute maximum of soundproofing, you should use that material as a third layer. It's quite pricey, to be honest, but if you have those clients who are looking just for the best, you have to use it. And we've used it with one of our dealers in some those top class Mercedes little vans, where it's being used for like driving executives around and stuff. So they've purchased this material as well to just make it a little bit better. As I said, it's just removing almost all the rest, what's left after your 2 layers already installed.
It's the backup to the backup to the backup.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then onto our special line, we also have this little crystal. It comes pre-cutted in this hexagon in this hexagon form. You put it behind your speaker in your door just to reflect all the back waves. We also have Crystal Pro, which is coming on the market a little bit later. That comes with those foamy rings you put behind the speaker as well. Also pre-cut to different sizes, all within one box. But for now, we only have the Crystal on the market.
This is the product that you have hanging in your showroom next to the soundboard. You grab those when you grab the speakers.
Yeah.
It's a must-have.
It is.
It's coming in pair, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you buy the speakers,
you
grab that, and they go in the car together. And that's how you got to sell it.
So it's essentially biplast with that layer of I think it's a butyl little layer there that also concave that disperse the back waves. And that's it. That's it. We also have one material I forgot to include. I think that's called heat shield, and we're looking into bringing it for the winter. It's pre-cutted, one-fit-all material that you put under your hood, and that's essentially like one of those heat blankets, but designed by us. That helps your car to stay warmer at winter, and again cooler in summer. So it's just the heat proof essentially for your
it's a heat protection. Yeah. Quick comment that came in here from Justin. He's used different products from Amazon, like you were mentioning, but he hadn't heard of this product before this video, so it looks like really nice stuff. So that's what we're doing. We're educating people, man. I think people know about this product. So my comment, I mean, I've had a lot of comments because I have a lot to say, but overall, based on your presentation, oh, sorry, somebody coming in with the question for you, Ilya. Is the crystal waterproof?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it like entirely waterproof because it would be a false statement, but it's designed to be put inside the door panel, so there would be no issues with installing it.
Moisture is never going to make it deteriorate or make it lose adhesion over time.
No.
So
it's designed specifically
for that environment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the question, guys. Keep them coming. We got Ilya here, so I'm sure he has the answer. Well, I know he has the answer for everything you can throw at him. My comments were based on that presentation, Ilya, is, this is a complete, and I mean complete line of sound control materials. I'll call it sound control. You know what I mean? Because you're talking damping, you're talking vibration control, you're talking frequency control, you're talking soundproofing, and now you're even talking about heat control. So, I mean, it's really sound environment control tools, supplies, right? What I think is most important that we do as an industry, with the help of, your distributors and yourself, is educate people to know that these materials exist, that they're engineered for a specific purpose, and they are available. You just need to know, what they're for and when you need to use them.
And where.
And where to use them. Exactly.
And one misconception in the market that we see a lot right now is that you just apply one layer of that butyl-based vibro-damping, and then you assemble back your car, you drive it around, and you hear almost no difference. Well, that's because it's only removing the vibrations coming in. It's not a sound deadening material, it's a vibro-damping material. So if you want to actually hear it and feel it, you need to install those soft materials, and that's what we're trying to do.
Hold on, you're saying something really, this is going to cause a stir. You're telling me that butyl-based material is not actually sound deadening or damping?
It's not sound absorbing material, soundproofing. It will remove some of the sound waves coming through those panels. But again, what is sound? We're going to get into theory of sound now. It's a sound wave, right? And when it comes from metal, it makes it resonate, right? So that material helps to remove that resonation, of the metal. But then you still have some leftovers still going into your car.
Gotcha.
So that's where.
Really, this is the type of information, education, training that our installers and salespeople need, so they can qualify their customer and then put the right product to do the job. Because what we don't want to happen is on the sales floor, somebody promises the customer, "Oh, you're going to cut out all the noise. You're not going to hear anything. All you need is it." And you put all this labor in, put it all in, and the customer's like, "I still hear everything that I didn't want to hear."
Yeah.
So this is why this type of thing is important. I did have another question. I need to come back here. Here we go, from Dave. Should the dampen be applied with heat?
So we've covered this already. All our materials, but the aerobomb can be applied with no heat. You can clean the surface, put it in, and roll it. But if you want, that old school, we don't prohibit it. If you want to preheat the material,
does it help? Does it help?
It helps a little bit to mold it better. Yeah, This is our rollers.
What do you got there, Jota?
It's a heavy.
It's the two model.
Drop it.
We also have the long handle, so it's easier to reach. Plus, the head of it is not plastic; it's a steel roller.
Okay.
So that's the one you should use because
Perfect.
and they quite cheap as well compared to what's on the market.
The reason for my questioning, Ilya, is if we have garages all in Canada, and in the wintertime we want to stay busy. So can we do this when it's cooler in the garage to install? I guess is my question.
We advise to at least bring it to your room temperature if you can. And again, if you do that in winter, I would strongly encourage you to use a heat gun to get it to that temperature of installation. But you can leave it overnight. It's still going to develop all the connections with metal that's needed. So
should the car be left inside overnight though? This is what I'm getting to.
Again, advisable and based on our standard procedures. Yes, you would, to achieve the best performance, you need to keep it inside at least with your room temperature. But if you leave it over outside, it's not gonna hurt much.
Okay. Wow, time is flying by. Holy cow. All right, we got to jump to this video because this is a nice video that kind of shows the application of not only some of the different materials. This is on the door, which is probably the most popular application, but also the use of the tool that you just showed, Gaetan, the roller. So why don't we go ahead and bring that up, and we'll watch it.
One thing, Ben, sorry, before example, I also wanted to back to our conversation of applying one layer and not hearing the difference. I think some customers also have super high expectations from materials, right? But you need to realize that the most of the noise coming especially when you're driving on a highway, are coming from your wind. Which
you can't put a layer of butyl on.
I mean, the solution to this is putting in a double layered windows, But again, we have some videos as well with some of influencers in the industry where they do the decibel reading. And again, if I'm gonna jump into decibel,
no, don't do that. We don't have time for today. We'll save that for another time.
That's different, but yeah. So it's helping, but
let make no mistake. I'll say this firsthand, and I know you guys. There is a noticeable difference, and I will continue this message here. There is nothing else that you can apply to your vehicle or a customer's vehicle that will have more drastic impact on the sound of the vehicle per dollar than sound damping material. That's without, I don't care what brand. Dollar for dollar, that is you're going to get the most out of it for what you're going to spend.
And in my opinion, it's better to spend a little bit less money on your sound system, but put in at least some soundproofing, right? So again, you can put
balance, man. Balance,
right?
Balance. The quality of your accessories, the quality of everything. Sound damping is right in there because you've seen those demos, and maybe we talk about this in a future thing. Maybe show the demo. I think it'll actually pick up on even our little phone microphones. It's that obvious. Yeah. When you have the speaker from factory, even the factory speaker, when you add material, you hear a difference. Now, then to the aftermarket one, and it's like, whoa, okay, then you never want to install it without it. You know what I mean? So
exactly. All right, let's jump to this.
Let's go here. All right, so set us up here. What are we looking at here?
So this is a masterclass from our YouTube channel. We have a full-on masterclass for your whole car installation for all the zones of how to use our materials. It's on our YouTube. Go check it out. It's translated to English, so it's also some of it translated to Spanish for our Spanish talking guys.
We gotta get Gaetan to do it in French.
Yeah. So we've also have a series for each different zone as well on YouTube.
You mean like roof, floor, door, deck? Okay.
So this one video is just the whole car installation. We're going to take a look at the piece of it, but then we're also broken down them into separate pieces as well. And go check our YouTube channel. There. So what's if you can pause right away? Actually,
we don't have to roll it down.
So Guy already installed, as you can see from little top piece there, our sound deadening first layer on the inner door skin, and now he's applying Aeroflex as a second layer within the door itself. So doors are a little bit different from your floors, for example, because you then apply another layer of sound deadening material on your outer skin. I keep confusing them too. Yeah, so.
With a roller, it will be enough just to press it firmly with a hand. Initially, there was a factory-installed material on the door which covered manufacturing holes. We replaced it with the vibration-damping material we've used before, STP Aero. Apart from its main function, vibration damping, STP Aero will also serve as a vapor-proof and waterproof material. Upon applying, we have to roll the material down with a roller.
Oh, and one feature of our we have printed squares. I think they are. I don't know. So anyway, we have printed squares there that you can see your straight lines and cut them. And we've heard a lot of feedback from our dealers that they really like it because you can
like guidelines.
See, yeah, those are the guidelines.
Very nice.
So yeah, as you see, he applies it, and then makes little holes to get all the wiring and everything out for the future.
Yep. You know what's cool? You never have a wasted piece. You know what I mean? You're going to cut the circle for whatever you want, but you're going to put that somewhere. You're never going to waste a piece of that material.
And then again, we advise you to have everything in one piece as much as you can.
Does that make a difference?
Apparently it does, judging by our research, because it's all, you know, like as a one
uniform
structural piece, you know.
Interesting. Because I have seen, I mean, first of all, it looks nicer. Unfortunately, this is covered, but you know, for the install fix, it looks great when it's one piece. But I did not know that there was actually a sonic benefit to having just one solid piece versus multiple pieces. Okay. There's the roller in action.
And also one of the features of all of our sound is they have that little concave area. So when you roll it, you can see what's being rolled, and then you can see where you actually applied the material. I cannot stress enough the importance of cleaning the surface, degreasing it, and then properly rolling the material to the metal. It's just like you have to do this.
If you want the product to work, this is the step necessary.
I mean, it's gonna work still, but not
to its spec.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Covering manufacturing holes, we proceed to the door trim panels. Here we used the 10 mm thick STP B-Plast. Initially, there was a factory-installed soundproofing material on the plastic panel. We have to take it off. We clean and unoil the surface.
And what else you can also do? You can also apply sound deadening little.
After that, we
to the plastic panel as well to help to remove the vibration a little bit.
Does that work on plastic?
A little bit, yeah. It's going to make it better. Like you don't have to, but we've tested it out ourselves, and it just just makes it sturdier a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Apply the material. STP B-Plast is a sound absorption and heat insulation material.
And one thing, while you're working with Standartplast, try not to stretch it a lot, because due to the nature of the material.
Sorry, don't scratch it?
Don't stretch it.
Oh, stretch it.
You can stretch it, and if you stretch it and put it in on the door panel, due to its nature, it will try to compress back down and will unstick from.
We'll leave some opening. Yeah.
So when
is it like memory foam?
Yeah,
similar?
That's like the memory foam. That's the one I was talking about. here, super clean and nice installation with a little bit of lapping there. Here you go. You see the breakdown, and again, this will be there for all the other zones, like your floor, your trunk. And again, always keep in mind that your first layer is always replaceable by any of the sound deadening material.
Right, could be black silver, black gold, could be aero, whatever.
With the exception of bomb aero, of course. That's only advice for floors for daily use. But again, if you're creating a
so let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Am I better doing, was it diamond?
Aero, yeah.
And no biplast, or
No.
going with black silver and biplast?
I would advise to go with silver and biplast instead of going with one layer of vibro-damping. Again, you just need that. Again, it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? It all depends on your project, and that's why we have such a great lineup of products that it can fit all the needs. You're not tied down to only certain one product, You can mix and match them. Essentially, it's like a Lego constructor, And
well,
then
it's like anything else. There's a place for everything. There's a purpose for everything, but you just got to know what that purpose is, where and when.
Exactly,
Right?
and also, it's not ideal situation, but what I also love to tell some customers who are, budget cognizant, is that the word even? But you can always put in one layer of sound deadener first, assemble the car back again if you want to deassemble car.
I don't like where you're going with this. I don't know if anybody likes where you're going with this.
But sometimes even try it on doors, right? Like, because door panels are fairly simple to remove and put back together. Just put a first layer there, see if you like it. If you don't, grab a second layer of Aeroflex or accent, put it inside the door, see if it works. But again, I would even remove the second layer, but would go with the third one with the biplast on doors, because it just makes that difference.
Based on what you're saying and why I'm thinking about it, if you're going to do it, if you're going to do the floor, absolutely do the biplast. Most of the road noise comes from the road. And the windows, second after the windows. And
again, biplast is not advisable on the whole floor area, just on the arches.
Oh, the arches, right.
Floor area might have a little bit of moist there, right? So we would advise to go with Aeroflex or accent as a second layer, and then third layer of noise block.
Noise block, if you want to go hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin said something funny. I have to put it up. He's like, "Is this like Oprah and everybody's getting some biplast?" No, this is not Oprah. This is educational. Take what you learn, man. All right. Listen, we're at the top. We have 2 minutes left. Okay, so we got our education. I noticed that we do have Western Canadian dealers on here. For Western Canadian dealers, do they contact you guys directly? To clarify.
Contact us, and even from this part, you can also contact us if you want. We will always
bring it back to the right distributor.
Bring it back to the right
area.
Okay. So.
Perfect. What do I need? Well, I need to show this right here. If you want information on Standartplast, make sure you contact Sobel. You can visit them at sobelimports.com. There's their toll-free 1-800-361-1487. They have it in stock, as Gaetan had mentioned, ready to go, tools and all. So that's very important. Now I have to bring up this next slide because we talked about it at the beginning. Gaetan, we got a crazy special for dealers interested in trying out STP products. Check this out. Watch the bottom of the screen. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So on the first pack, you get 10% off, and you can mix it. So for first pack, second packs, you get 25%.
25% off. Yeah.
And on the third package, you get 50%. So, but you can mix. You don't have to buy the third one.
All three different ones. You can buy. Can I buy this? Exactly. So you can buy the same item. Let's say I want gold. I want 3 packs of gold. So I can go gold. That's
it. You 10 on the first, 25 on the second, and
50 on the
third. On the third, 50%.
I should mention, though, I'm sure Daniel Perron would want me to say this. This is on your opening order. for
Yeah.
STP. This is not on every order. You can't get your assistant to call later on that day to order the same thing and receive the rebate. This is for your account. They want you to try it, guys. It's a great incentive. It's 10% off your first item, 25% off your second item, 50% off your third item. What is the time? Is there a deadline for this, Gaetan, or?
Oh, Daniel didn't mention.
He didn't mention, so just
so
take advantage of it.
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
On the first order, we're allowed to giving it. That's it. So sorry, I just had a cramp.
Oh, no worries. Are you okay? You're good. And Ilya, that's a great offer, I think, to get people to try out, shops to try out the product. I think you've given us more than enough information for them to incentivize them to try it. I definitely encourage you to try. I mean, it's a very unique product. I think it's got some great engineering behind it, great ideas behind it. Ilya, we can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing all that information with us. I know we have you on again. We're going to go even deeper. Oh, what's that?
That's the brochure. That's a nice brochure, well made. Explain you exactly,
and it has
what you can use on the door, and it's very well made. It's nice, and that we have some in inventory. So
I'm sure you're going to include it in the shipping of the package.
Leave one with that.
Perfect. So there it is. Contact Sobel. That's what you need to do. Ilya, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you, Ben.
Hey, thank you very much, Ilya.
Thanks.
And thank you, Ben.
Always a pleasure. Super exciting line for Sobel. I wish you guys great luck with it. Hope you guys get some calls and for dealers to go try it out. And
that product is very amazing. So you can use it on boat, on the RV, on you can go anywhere with that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Gaetan. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you, Ben. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Dropping some learnage. Learnage, is that even a word? It's a word now. Learnage on STP Standartplast, sound deadening, soundproofing, vibro, all that great stuff. If you're interested, take advantage of that crazy deal from Sobel. 10% off your first item, 25 off your second, 50 off your third for your opening order. They want you to try out the product, guys. Go ahead and take advantage of that. And that's it. Thanks to all my guests today. We'll be back here on Wednesday and Friday. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Thanks for tuning in to CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. Until next time, we connect.